And this is Mobilefitlab After Hours. So that was my weird little intro that I usually do with Joey. Today, I am alone, so the intro still had to be done. And today we have a special guest, so I'm going to let him introduce himself. And we have a special secret guest over there who's not on video today, but is going to chime in because I'm going to make her because I will otherwise feel awkward. So
yeah, I'll say something wrong too. So
yeah.
I'll be corrected throughout.
Yeah, so let's have you just introduce yourself. Like, you know, if you meet somebody in a bar and they're like, who are you and what do you do? We'll do a bar introduction.
Sure, I'll do a little bar introduction, yeah, in the spirit of State College. I'm Jack Walker. I am 24, 25 in too few days, like 5 days.
Ooh, happy birthday.
I'm not ready to be 25, but...
That's a steep age.
Like essentially 30. Yeah, I'm not ready for that. Graduated Penn State 2 years ago. Started out in the working world, working for an entrepreneur, running 2 of his companies, and just realized it wasn't for me. It's not kind of like how I want to live my life day to day. And it became abundantly clear when I was at my 7 a.m. Class working out, and then I'd have to leave and be like, that, you know, I wanted my day to continue being there as opposed to going and sitting at a chair all day behind a computer. So I left that job, and now I am full-time coaching and getting into personal training.
Okay, yeah. So when you left that job, just like to bounce off of your bio really quick,
yeah.
When you left that job, and I may also say things that I already know because I know you, but we're going to say it for the podcast because they don't know you. Did you have another job lined up? Because I work for myself in the fitness world, and it's like slightly scary. It's not scary for me at the moment because I live with my parents, so like I'm not homeless or anything, but it's not like a secure, like, oh, now I have a 401k and I work for someone who has a business it's definitely going to work, right? Yeah. So when you left your corporate job, did you have something lined up, or were you kind of just like, this isn't what I want to do, so let me just quit before it gets any worse and find something else? Yeah,
so no, I didn't actually. I reached out to my coach, Nick Act. He's part of Team OBA, which is a CrossFit team. They competed at Madison this year. I think they took 6th? 8th? Yeah. 7th?
8th overall, yeah.
Fight.
We'll check that, they did great. They had a great showing this year. And he, being part of OBA, opened OBA's sister gym, Evolve PHL. And I joined there, started working out there, and toward the end of working where I went to him and I said, hey, looking for a bit of a career shift. Are there any careers in CrossFit? What would that look like?
Yeah.
How would I go about that? And he's like, really, the surefire way to start a career is start coaching and just kind of work from there. And then you just kind of build your reputation, start personal training. And so from there, I was like, all right, well, I need to go get my L1, which is the CrossFit Certified Training Certificate. And once I got that, I was out. I left my job. So yeah. So I mean, I kind of pushed myself into it. I feel that if you want to get something done, you got to kind of almost make yourself uncomfortable. You got to put yourself in a position where it's like, it's not like you can fail. It's like you cannot fail. You can't fail.
You have to make it work.
Screwed. Yeah, you have to make it work, or you're toast. So, kind of put myself in the position where, definitely financially, not necessarily making, what I was. But if I want to get there, if I want to get there and pay rent and buy groceries and keep going day to day and being able to do the things in life that I like to do, I need to actually make it work and kind of put the foot to the pedal.
And the cool thing about starting in something that's a little more, you worked for a startup, so it's kind of like you're just kind of like taking the step of the person you are working for. But the cool thing about doing something that's a little bit more fresh at the beginning and you kind of have to grind to make it work is, while it's a little rough at the start, it has a lot more growth room than it does working for somebody else, right? Because like when you're working for somebody else, you're always going to be like under them.
Yeah.
Even if you climb to the very top, you're still under the owner. You're not the owner, right? Exactly. So, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, obviously, there's 1,000 things that are much better about that kind of job than this kind of job. Yeah. But if you want to be in charge, then you gotta do that.
And that's the thing too. Like I wouldn't even say I'm necessarily in charge quite yet. Just because Nick is obviously the owner of the gym, head coach of the gym. But even still, just the way him and I have conversations, the way him and I engage, it's more so, not that we're necessarily equals, because, I mean, he likes to remind me all the time of his scores and on a day-to-day workout. He's like, I bodied you. And
yeah, but you'll have your own
But
clients.
Still, it's just kind of like our ability to interact versus how it was with my other boss was just like, he would make sure I knew that, he was top dog and I was...
What was the startup that you're working for? You don't say like the name of it, but like what were you guys doing?
2 companies. One was a CBD company. The other one was... He started out as a sunscreen, or not a hand sanitizer dispenser during COVID, which blew up, and then transitioned it to sunscreen, and I was like white labeling stainless steel sunscreen stands, and
sunscreen's popping off right now. Everyone needs to take care of their skin.
But so I mean, like, it was cool. It was fun. I guess. It taught me things about myself and also just generally working in the real world that I would not have learned had I not done that. So
what did you do? Like, what was your position?
Sales. Business, be like B2B, B2C.
Okay.
And
Jack has a business degree, so this is
communications.
Communications?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I was calm.
I'm stupid.
No.
He was in a business fraternity.
Yeah, I was. Yes.
With my best friend.
So this is why. This
is why I said this. But okay, communications.
Yeah, I was calm. I was broadcast.
Which honestly, at the end of the day, he has a degree. I feel like, you know.
No, it was broadcast journalism. Because I was like, I'll be on TV.
Yeah.
That didn't happen.
Maybe you will. Maybe you will.
We'll see.
I'd like to be on TV someday. Okay, so taking a few steps back into like your own personal fitness journey. I know in college you did CrossFit, CrossFit Club, right? How did you get into fitness like from the beginning? Like, what did you do? I mean, we don't need your entire life story unless you want to give it. You absolutely can. Okay, let's do it.
So I was a fat kid growing up. I was a little chunker.
I love these stories.
I was a little fatty. Always the slowest kid running races, but like was pissed about it. You know, I wasn't like happily in last. Because I loved competing. I love sports. I love all of that. And watching my dad growing up, he was like this yoked out triathlete, marathon runner, the whole nine. And here I am, this overweight little kid, and I'm like, I want to look like that because my dad looks like a superhero.
What age is this happening?
Because
like fat kid could mean a lot of things. Because like I do think at some point it's just like he's got to get taller.
Yeah,
He's just cute and chubby, and he's gonna get taller.
It's baby fat.
Baby fat.
It was a lot of baby fat. It was a ton of baby. It was like 2 baby fat.
Okay.
I like 2 babies, but like, what's it called? No, I mean like I guess from ages 8 to like 12 was at my like biggest, and then puberty definitely helped out. Shout out puberty for sure. And then I thinned out middle school, but all the while, like my dad would run me every day. I'd play every sport under the sun. Grew up playing soccer, football, baseball. And then got to middle school, did wrestling, in addition to football and lacrosse, and was just constantly moving around. Wrestling got me definitely really skinny just because I have to make weight every single week. But my dad had me lifting in the gym right at 13, like right at like 12, 13.
So your parents had they had a background in fitness. So even when your dad, so even when you weren't like in sports at school,
right? Yeah.
Or in addition to that, they could kind of support you through those things.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, he would take me to Gold's gym back when Gold's were like popping off.
Oh my god! So fun.
Yeah. And my dad had like a reputation in the gym too. Like he'd walk in the gym and one trainer named Larry would be like, "The truth." Like it's just like
the gym name.
Yeah, that was my dad for some reason. They were like a bunch of bodybuilders were at that gym actually at the time. And they're like, Rob, you could compete naturally if you wanted to. And he's like, naturally? What do you mean? He's like, what do you got? You guys compete under? Yeah.
What are you guys doing?
Yeah, what are you guys saying? Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, I grew up always going to the gym and around a bunch of yoked dudes because my fitness was huge to my dad as well, my whole life. And so once I met my brother, Gabe, who we met when we were both like 8, 9. My parents split up when I was like 8 years old.
Okay.
Met Gabe when I was like 9-ish. And also having like a brother introduced late in your life. I mean, 8 isn't really that late.
Yeah.
But competition sparked immediately. Like Gabe hated me so much at first. Like I would say up until end of middle school, he was like, this guy sucks. Like,
yeah.
I hate this dude. Whether it was sports, whether it was just anything. So the gym actually brought us together more than anything because after school, middle school, we'd go to like the Ambler Y and we got him like a lifting program and just started doing like the basic push pull and everything. And from there, it just kind of evolved up until the point where, I was obviously I was living on the bench. Nothing mattered other than my bench. My legs took a second priority. Never hit leg day ever.
The boys like to do this. This thing.
Yeah. I looked like a Dorito, like a traffic cone for sure. And then it wasn't until COVID really that CrossFit was even a realm of possibility. Or
Did you know what it was before you started?
I had heard it. So my friend, funnily enough, actually did it in high school. He started doing it, I want to say, in 10th grade. And he was a pretty big dude. Like, he was, like, pretty out of shape. And then came back junior year, and this dude, he looked like a different person. I was like, what the hell? Like, one summer. And he was shredded.
Yeah.
He was yoked. And we're like, who is this guy? He's like, I do CrossFit. And everyone's like, what is that? Like, who cares? I didn't realize until I started doing CrossFit that he actually had me do a competition, like a CrossFit competition with him at his box. Like, I thought we were just doing some fitness thing or other. I remember he like tried to like teach me a clean and jerk in like 5 minutes, and I almost took my head off, and I was doing like kettlebell swings.
Oh God!
And I rocked myself. And then years later, when I started doing CrossFit, I was like, wait, that's what that was. And so in COVID, my brother, he was like, hey, we're doing CrossFit. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, we're doing CrossFit every day. The gyms are closed. We're gonna make a gym in our garage, and we're gonna do CrossFit every day. I'm like, no, we're not. Like, I'm not doing CrossFit. Like, get out of here. I was like, I'll bench and do all the curls in the world, but I'm not doing CrossFit. He's like, yeah, you are. And so we did CrossFit literally every single day. It was the first time I've never taken an off day. Like, from the start of quarantine to the end of it, it was CrossFit. I've never been more sore in my life. My legs were actually being used. We didn't necessarily have the most proper form either, but like we were just doing it, and I instantly became in the best shape of my life. And like prior to that, I was coming off of like a bender of a sophomore year, just drinking nonstop, just partying all the time, and
at Penn State University.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And I'll never forget it. It was a Tuesday night, and I was like, "Hey man, you want to go get some drinks?" He's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "It's Tuesday. Like, it's country night. Like, let's I'll put on the country
Tuesday
music
night.
and we'll get it going." He's like, "Dude, it's a Tuesday."
Yeah.
I'm like, "I know, it's a Tuesday." He's like, "Dude, it's a Tuesday. No." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then
We
from
have
there on,
CrossFit
I
the
was
next
like,
Sunday.
it just kind of like applied to everything else. The way I ate, the way I slept, the way I just generally went about my day, and CrossFit just kind of took over.
Yeah, became
100%.
a lifestyle.
Yeah, it really did. It really did. Not that CrossFit's a personality trait, but it kind of is in a way, because it's.
I mean,
it's not like
like
CrossFit at its core. CrossFit the brand. Yeah, it is.
I don't like. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I'm not a CrossFit hater.
No, you're not one of the CrossFit haters.
No.
We are a hated group.
Well, anybody who does something aggressively is hated by some people, right?
That's true.
So, like I can't be a CrossFit hater because I get on stage in a sparkly bikini.
Right.
Like,
right.
How am I gonna hate on CrossFit?
Yeah.
Like, why? Like, that would just be embarrassing.
Yeah.
me,
I think
you know?
people don't. I think people just in the fitness world don't necessarily get it.
Yeah. Well, I was just gonna say, like, you said, like, you were like, at first you were like, no, I'm not doing that. Like, I'm gonna bench, I'll do curls, whatever. And then somehow you did it, and then you just kept doing it. And whether that was like the competition aspect between your brother and you, or did you just love it? Like, did you just fall in love, or was it like the drive to be like, oh yeah, like I'm getting jacked, like I'm gonna continue to do this? Because I think a cool thing about CrossFit that is different from other types of fitness, even like bodybuilding and things like that, is when I think CrossFit, I think community. Like, through CrossFit, I mean, you guys met at the gym, not to bring like a love story into this, but like through CrossFit you meet community, right? Like, you make a community. So I think even people who I think there's probably a lot of CrossFitters out there who are like, oh yeah, I was like not gonna do that.
Yeah.
But then you go and it's like addicting to like be a part of, to feel like you're a part of something.
Yeah, so I mean, I think you hit it on the head, and it kind of, for me at least, it was a couple parts. So like at first, my first reason for sticking with CrossFit, I was like, oh, this is the first time I've ever actually had abs in my life.
Yeah.
Like, legitimately. And I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. Like, I'm not going to give this up.
Yeah.
Like, I remember it was like the first time everyone went to the beach during COVID, when it was like kind of okay to go out. And we all took pictures on the beach, and I looked at the photos after, I was like that's what I look like? Like that, I've never looked like that in my life. And I was like, all right, CrossFit, I'm hooked. And so, like, that was my drive at first, was to, like, look a certain way. And once I joined Lionheart downtown, I was like, oh, these people are, like, the nicest people ever. Because, like, in gym culture, I think there's a stigma where it's, like, it's very intimidating at first for some people.
Yeah.
You know, you go in the gym, everyone's got their hats on, especially.
I think it's still intimidating, like going to new gyms and things.
And with the emergence of gym culture, especially in the past, I want to say 6 or 7 years. Yeah. Of just like, it's no longer just throwing on a pair of shorts and a shirt and going. It's Gymshark, it's Athleta, it's like
it's the whole thing.
The branding, the hat down, the pump cover, the everything, the headphones.
It feels like you have to get it right to like participate in it. Yeah.
And so like I think people think that applies to every realm of fitness and every sort of ideology that pertains to whether it's CrossFit, whether it's powerlifting. But I go into Lionheart and everyone's just like, hey, how are you? Like, how's it going? Like, how you doing? And I was like, what is this? Like, my brother, I remember texting my brother before my first ever CrossFit class, and I was like, you know, what if I'm not good enough? What if people beat me? And he's like, dude, if you think that that's what you need to be concerned about, then you don't really understand CrossFit. And I didn't understand that text, but I was like, what do you mean? And after months of going, I was like, I get it now. Like, I understand. It's really, it really is. There's no better community, in my opinion. Not to talk poorly on anyone else and any other worker, but like, when you spend an hour with a bunch of people, whether it's at 5:30 in the morning or 6 o'clock at night, and you're working your hardest and you are in so much pain, but you have people around you also in pain and suffering. Yeah. Not like in a negative, but like, you know, giving their all, and someone finishes before you, and as opposed to them being like, you know, F you, I beat you, it's, I'm going to stand next to you and say, keep going. You know? Yeah. And that quickly became like, it's the best. You form the best friendships.
Yeah, and I think a cool thing about CrossFit is that it can be an individual sport, but you do it together. Do you know what I mean? Like, similar, almost like, it reminds me of like running cross country when I was in high school. Yeah. I know that sounds like kind of crazy, but like, cross country can be an individual sport. Running can be an individual sport, right? Yeah. Like, you sign up for a race, like, you have your personal time, but you run with friends. Like, you train together, you do it together. Yeah. I think that's a lot different than other types of lifting, other types of fitness, and where like in CrossFit, like, you're going to do a CrossFit workout, you're trying to get a specific time out of it. Yeah. Maybe, like, depending on the workout. But you can be there with a friend, you can be there with your family, and you guys can do it alongside each other. And then when it's over, like, they can still stand there next to you. Or you can still stand there next to them. Because it's not like, I mean, there's leaderboards, you know, there are the things. But again, it's like, it almost feels like family. Like, you can get into 1,000 fights with your family, but you wake up the next day and you're like, well, we're still related, so let's go out to breakfast, I guess. Like, you know what I mean? It's the same thing for CrossFit. It's like, no matter how many times you beat me or how many times I beat you, like at the end of the day, we're still gonna do Fran the next day. Like it's not.
I'm not absolutely not.
And it's also like there's not just one movement. It's like not one thing that you're doing. It's not like you're swimming or you're like running or something like that. There's so many different movements, and everyone has their strengths. Yeah. So every workout's gonna be different for everyone.
Exactly.
You can have like your top athletes, and your athletes are like well conditioned and everything, but everyone has their like strengths and like push people. Like I see people in the gym, and like when I see them like row or like ski or lift heavy weight, I'm like, hell yeah, like that's awesome for them. It's not like, oh my god, I wish I was as strong as them, I'm gonna hate them. It's like you feel like good for the other person because you know how much they're putting into it.
Yeah, and it's hard. So you're like, I've been there and like I get it. So go on.
Kind of like builds off of each other. Like, everyone kind of just.
Yeah. So getting into how you guys met a little bit as we're talking about community, just because
good segue.
We are like, I just want to hear.
We gotta talk about it.
Funny.
It's just be fun to hear. Yeah. So
she's the voice in the corner. We have to.
Do you want to
talk about
introduce yourself, voice in the corner?
Sure. I'm Maddie Hobart. I'm originally from Maryland, Harford County. I moved to Philly like a year and a half ago to start PA school at Jeff. So I'm in my second year of PA school right now, starting clinicals.
Cool.
It's going really well. I love it, and I also love Philly. And I'm wearing a Phillies hat. Sorry, Mom and Dad.
I'll try to put a Phillies hat over the
Yeah, my parents aren't too happy about the fact that I like the.
She's been converted. I converted.
Oh man, who do they root for?
Like the O's and the Ravens.
Okay, I don't know why I ask things. I have no idea what they
I still love the Ravens. I was never into baseball, but now I think I have to be.
Yeah, but the Ravens are playing right now, which you didn't know that, and you told me that the Birds play at 4. So
that's true.
You know the time of the game. So
this is true.
Yeah.
You're in it.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah, she's an honorary Philly fan now.
So did you guys meet in Philly?
Yeah.
So
at the gym.
Yeah, sort of at the gym. So alright, we met on. So we initially met on Hinge.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
It's not what you think. It's not what you think.
No, I'm just kidding.
We meet on Hinge.
Hinge is the dating app designed to be deleted. So
that's wow. Are you trying to get a little sponsorship for Hinge?
Well, I'm not on Hinge, so if I am, then it's not me. Because I actually did get a DM the other day that was like,
oh my gosh,
Bella, I matched with you on. I'm like, no, you didn't. Like, that is not me.
That's terrifying.
I know. And then I was thinking, like, anybody could do that, right?
Yeah.
Like, how many freaking photos do I post of myself? Like, I've got like 17 bios waiting to be made. Like, I don't. Yeah. I mean, they're gonna find out when they meet up, so it's not gonna really care. But like, yeah, I was like, should I respond to this or just not? And I felt bad, so I did respond. I was like,
that's not me.
I was I'm sorry, that's not me. And like,
also,
also like, it's not gonna be me. Yeah. Like, I don't know.
It's still not gonna be me. Yeah, good try. Yeah. Have a nice day.
So, anyways, I just love Hinge because I like commercials, and I think Hinge has really good commercials.
They do have good marketing. Yeah.
The dating app designed to be deleted, like.
It's smart. It's a smart slogan.
So it makes me happy that that's the one. Yeah. Okay. Anyways.
So yes. So we match. We message back like maybe 2 times.
He messaged me first.
Okay. Obviously.
Yes. Obviously.
Yeah. And I think I asked you like how many siblings you had or something.
Yeah.
Like, it was like the second message.
Yeah.
And
I never responded.
And she never responded. And I'm like, okay.
Were you like gonna ghost him? Were you just playing hard to
get?
Oh,
she was ghosting me.
Okay.
Oh yeah, she was absolutely ghosting me. Yeah.
We probably said like 2 or 3 like messages back, and I was like, I'm over this.
Yeah,
that's so funny.
Sorry. Not like that. Like I'm not over this like conversation. Just like Hinge in general. I was like, why am I?
I get it.
And so like a couple weeks go by. I'm heartbroken. No.
He's dying. He quit his job. He's like, I am over.
I join Evolve. I posted my story like new gym, new home, or whatever my story. Evolve reposts me, my story on their story, and she messages me and she's like, hey,
I go back on Hinge.
Yeah, she's like,
I see it on my Instagram.
I think you go to my gym.
It was like Jack Walker. I go, God
Yeah.
Stalking me.
I was like, I matched with this guy, and now I'm gonna have to see him at the gym every day because I had just joined the gym like not even a month earlier.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. So I like went back on Hinge and I didn't even like respond to whatever else he like sent me. I just go, we go to the same gym.
Yeah.
That's all I
and
say.
I'm like, yes!
He goes, wait, you do CrossFit?
Yeah.
And I was like,
yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
But as it turns out, as great as Hinge is, it sent my message 3 times in a row to her. Oh, so she's like, this dude.
Oh yeah, that's another reason why I didn't respond.
Yeah. She's like, why would I respond to this guy? He's like,
yeah.
sent the same message 3 times.
3 times.
And so she ghosted me because of that.
Yeah.
Well, okay, this is an important thing to say. And again, too many times I give relationship advice and I'm not qualified whatsoever to do that. But I do think there are people who do that.
Yeah,
that's not like
I know.
That's not like, oh, that's definitely an accident.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I thought it was like a glitch. Like it was definitely a glitch because it was kind of like a longer message.
You thought it was a glitch and you still ghosted me?
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
I'm sorry.
We could have skipped that part. No, I'm just kidding.
But it all
just
how worked
if you are out there and it's a glitch, maybe say that was a glitch.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know. It didn't say,
okay.
I didn't see the 3 times. She only saw the 3. I guess that didn't really matter.
Oh,
she
that's funny. Okay, so then were you guys just like nice and then you saw each other at the gym, or did you after that you were like,
so it was sort of like a Gabe situation where she like was not into it at first at all. Like,
I took 5:30 class and he took 7, so by the time my class was finishing he was like getting to the gym.
Yeah.
And like I think that's when we said
hi
before.
Yeah.
And I was like, I gotta go. So
yeah. Like the music was so loud in the gym too, and I was like, so how was the workout? And she's like, what? And I'm like, was it fun? Like, did you? She's like, yeah. I'm like, all right.
See ya.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Have fun. We go do it. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess it was kind of like, so this was what, like February? Like end of January, February?
January.
Yeah.
It was January.
Because then it was like the open when we actually started like hanging out more. Because we would like work out together like here and there.
A little bit.
Hang out. But it was never like...
Well, now I feel like even if you're like, okay, off of Hinge, I am interested, it's kind of weird because it's like we literally both just started in a gym. Like,
well,
what are we going to do now? Like, date and then break up and then be at a...
Yeah.
Oh, no. We took our time.
Yeah. So we just did a competition last weekend. And our team name was Just Friends because that's what we told.
That's what we told everyone.
That's what we told everyone in the gym for like
9 months.
a while.
Oh my god.
A really long time.
Like, you're like just friends leaving together.
Yeah. That's the other thing. No one believed us. Everyone was
like,
every Evolve night out. So we had a Evolve night out every first Friday of the month. We'd all go out together to the bars.
Yeah.
And everyone would be like, so like you and Maddie? And we're like,
no,
we're just friends.
No, like we got ready together and we're leaving together, but we're just friends.
Yeah, we're gonna leave together, but it's just a friendly thing. Yeah, it's not anything.
Cute.
Yeah.
What was the first workout you did together as just friends?
Oh wow.
Like, was it a lady? Was it a made-up workout?
Probably just a
it wasn't
workout,
Fran.
Right? No, it's not. Stop trying to get us to be Fran.
I think we took class together one time.
Yeah.
I remember you
You came to a 7 a.m.
Yeah, you made like a comment about like my tattoos or something, and I was like, why is he talking about my tattoos? Like, this is still like...
Wait, do you have tattoos?
I do.
Okay, because I was gonna say I just saw this thing on TikTok and it was like, it was like the girl and she was like, when I'm the only one in the relationship with tattoos, and then she had like the man filter on. She was like, like singing like a man song, and I was like, that's so funny.
No, I have 2 and plan to get a couple more.
Okay, so you'll both.
She has a half sleeve though.
Yeah.
So she's
well, then yes.
So I am.
That is her. Yeah.
Now it's a mysterious face with a Phillies hat and a beard.
A beard and a half sleeve.
And like some earrings so they know you're.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, so I keep talking about Fran.
Yeah.
Because I don't like aggressively plan podcasts, but I do like write out some things that I want to do on the podcast. And
I'm not doing Fran. If you have to make it,
right behind this wall, we actually know. So I was talking to my mom, and my my mom loves CrossFit.
Oh, really?
And and we're like, she owned a CrossFit gym actually, in town. She doesn't anymore. And now it's still a CrossFit gym. She's just not a part of it anymore. But it was Nittany CrossFit over by like Wegmans area, and then it got moved, and it was Fitology at State College Strength and Conditioning. Yeah. So it was CrossFit, but also had like group fitness and things like that. So anyways, our really, really good family friend owns that gym now, and it is back to CrossFit. Awesome. It's all CrossFit. So I don't do CrossFit. I have. But it's a part of our life, like we'll do the Murph as a family, and nice. We have a CrossFit gym in the barn. I can show you guys after the podcast. It's fun. So I train there, and it we have other things in there, but it's ideal for CrossFit. It has the CrossFit tools, you know what I mean? So anyways, this house likes CrossFit. And I was like talking to my mom, and I was like, so like what, because I don't know CrossFit, I know it as much as I hear about it, and I've done it a few times, but I was like, so what are like some fun things I should say about CrossFit? And she was like, ask Miss Fran time. And if it's da-da-da-da-da, then that's embarrassing. And if it's da-da-da-da-da, and I was like, okay, I don't think he'll care. I'm asking him Miss Fran time. And so first, do you know what the Fran is?
Of course I don't.
Well, I did it. I wrote it down in case you did. So tell us what the Fran is.
So Fran is 21-15-9 of pull-ups and barbell thrusters. So a barbell thruster is essentially your front rack, and you're going into a squat, into a overhead press in one movement. And it is the worst movement because Fran is designed to essentially take your breath away and not give it back until after the workout. So
and I think
talk about Fran long because it's a real thing. Like you are burning afterwards because it's a sprint. You're meant to do it as humanly fast as possible. Ideally with every single movement unbroken.
Well, I was gonna say it's funny that like CrossFit is such a community that my mom can think it's a funny thing to talk about Fran, and when I mention Fran, he's like, "Why are you talking about Fran?" Like they know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Fran is pretty brutal. I actually don't have an official Fran time because I did it early on in CrossFit, my initial days in CrossFit, and I did it, and this was before I really knew how to dial in workouts, and I was like, Fran's not hard. Why are people complaining about Fran? And meanwhile, it's 9 minutes in, that was so easy. Dude, you did Fran, but you didn't do Fran.
Yeah. Well, I was like, okay, Mom, prepare me for this a little bit because I've never done Fran. She was like, for example, if you're getting she was like 5 minutes, or 5.5 or less would be good.
Yeah.
I feel like you could do it in 4:30.
I think I'd be sub 5.
And she was just talking generally, girls, guys.
4:40.
Because we basically did double Fran.
Yeah, so that was the thing.
The competition
that we won. We did a little partner
comp.
Yeah.
The Just Friends one.
The Just Friends one. Yeah.
And you should have been and if we win, we'll be more.
Yeah. Okay. And for the record, it was an open division, so Maddie was out here bodying dudes as well. It was male,
male.
Yeah, male, female, and female. And
all cool.
All paired together. And we had first place locked up going into the final workout, so we did the first 3 that they announced, and then the last workout, the championship, or the final workout, is always a surprise. Mm-hmm. And they tell us, hey, everyone come out, we're going to announce the final workout. It's going to be partner Karen, and Karen is just 150 wall balls. Mm-hmm. And we're like, okay.
It's really not. We can do wall balls.
Super easy. So there was a teams division, they went, a scale division, they went, and then they bring out the masters division, which is 35 plus, and the RX division, which is, the RX is the top athletes there.
Okay.
And they're like, you guys are not doing Karen. You guys are doing dumbbell Fran into Fran-ish. So dumbbell Fran, same thing that I just explained, just with dumbbells, into Fran-ish, which is 9, 15, 21, bar muscle ups and barbell thrusters.
I love CrossFit. They're it's kind of Fran, so we'll call it Fran-ish.
Yeah. And that was great. It was actually a lot of fun.
Okay.
It hurt, but it was a lot of fun. It was probably my favorite workout of the day.
Because we could just split it up. Because we were partners, we just split it up however we wanted to.
Oh, that's good. Because you can play on your strengths.
Yeah, exactly. And we didn't have much time to
we had like 4 minutes
talk
to
about
prepare
it because it was a surprise, and he was like, all right, 5 minutes, and then we're going, and we were both like,
all right.
Yeah. So we like tried to like come up with a strategy, but it just kind of, we just went off of however we were feeling.
Yeah, we just kind of went for it.
We stayed on the rig and we were like feeling it. Like, like Jack did all like 21 pull-ups. Like the first round, I was like, like we were gonna split it up, and I was like, okay, he's going, whatever.
That's what we did. Like when we did the Murph as a family. We were like, okay, the weighted pull-ups in the Murph. Obviously, we all have to do weighted pull-ups. So like, my mom and I would like do all of the air squats and then like do as many weighted pull-ups as we can, which was like, I could do like 5 maybe, and I was like proud of myself. I was like 5 weighted pull-ups, like okay. Good. And then Joey would get up there and just like rep them out. Mine were like 1, 2. So we could kind of like
Well, you doing strict? You're doing strict pull-ups.
We were doing strict pull-ups.
That's why.
But to be fair, like I honestly, we had this conversation before we did the Murph as a family, like. What are we like? Joey wasn't doing strict pull-ups because he was like he's done CrossFit more than me. Like he does muscle ups. Like he's a gymnast kind of cheerleader. Like he knows how to do that stuff. You know, I do strict pull-ups every week, as a bodybuilder, but I don't know how to butterfly pull up. Like I was like, I know it's technically easier, but like for me,
efficient.
I don't think efficient. Like not easier. Like I don't think this is going to be more efficient for me because I don't do them. You know what I mean? I was like, I can only do 10 body weight pull-ups max, so I think I should just do what I can, and then you guys can do your efficient pull-ups. So okay, so what is your... Okay, first of all, I want to explain, like, Fran is called Fran after a lady.
Yes, the lady workouts.
And they're all lady workouts. Because CrossFit is super feminist and,
it is.
And wonderful if you think about it.
CrossFit is feminist. We are pro.
Pro women.
Yeah.
And all the workouts are different ladies. So why is that? Do we know?
Do you know the reason for?
Is it kind of like hurricanes?
I'm a really bad person. I don't know any of the history.
So any
really
I don't expect you guys to. Like I'm just wondering.
Yeah. No, so, I mean, CrossFit is any given number of movements in any workout, but the benchmark workouts are the lady workouts, and they're, I don't know why they're ladies. That just probably.
I think
are
just
they
like
after people?
It's cute.
I don't know, are they?
Well, you know, like
I mean, there's benchmark workouts, which are the lady workouts, like Diane, Fran, Karen, like I said.
Diane.
Yeah.
What's that? Is that the? Let's talk about Diane.
Diane's that's
she beat
me and Diane. Yeah.
I don't know.
Fran. Diane.
So Diane is handstand push-ups and deadlifts. And I'm pretty good at handstand push-ups.
He's really good at handstand push-ups.
She's just
I'm good.
monster on just cycling a barbell no matter what it is.
Not snatches, but...
Except for snatches.
Yeah, except for snatches. Don't give me that.
Yeah, but yeah, you beat me by like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Damn, that must have felt good.
Oh my gosh, it felt so good. And it was in front of Nick too, and I was like, yes.
That's so fun. So is that your favorite now since you beat him in it?
Diane, probably. Yeah,
I mean, I like the two movements, Yeah. I haven't done Fran. I don't know if I've ever done Fran.
Well, you have something to do when you get home.
I know.
I haven't done Fran.
I don't think I've ever done it.
You need to do Fran.
I know.
I'm good on thrusters for a minute because I did one of the Wadapalooza qualifier workouts. So I'm doing Wadapalooza with 2 other guys. Wadapalooza is like a big CrossFit event in Miami.
Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you have to do. Me and 2 other guys are doing a team of 3. And so all the workouts came out last week. And you have to do individual submissions of all 5 workouts. But I'm all thrustered out because I did one on Friday. And the workout essentially is 18 minutes. Each partner has a 6-minute window to do in order, starting at 90 thrusters at 65, 70 thrusters at 95, and then 50 thrusters at 135.
Oh, Lord.
But every minute on the minute, you have to do 9 toes to bar.
Oh, God.
So I pulled the short straw and did the 90 at 65. So I thankfully got the 90 in because you pick up where your partner left off. So I was trying to clear all 90 at 65, and I did. My legs are still kind of
Oh my.
wobbly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
that feeling when your legs are just like giving out
yeah,
after the
yeah,
workout.
yeah,
Just jump.
yeah.
Okay. I have to restart it. The camera's like you They only record for a certain amount of time, so I have to like get up.
Yeah. Did you figure out the Sunday? I know you were like struggling to figure that out.
I did figure it out for the most part.
Good.
I'm not like I'm not just like not super good at tech things, but it's getting easier as I've been using it.
Good. Backlining with no conflicts again. Good stuff. I can do afternoon night classes on Monday. Perfect.
You guys should do a podcast like at the gym with
I want to.
with like some of.
I would love to. Well,
and then you can have people on who just like work out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they can like even like stop in after the
that's
workout.
gonna be.
Like,
I mean,
say
that's definitely
something.
gonna be part of what I plan to do for sure. Like getting Nick on there would be huge. Getting Kels on there, Kels Keel. She is a social media monster in the CrossFit world.
Oh yeah, she's like a top CrossFit.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And she was a part of Team OBA with Nick and all that good stuff. So, but yeah, she's the reason actually I'm at Evolve. Because I DM'd her and I was like, hey, because I was going back to my brother's or my parents' house. I now call it my brother's gym because he's created this garage gym into like a fully functioning CrossFit box.
Yeah.
And I was going back every day, just like 2 hours combined driving from Philly to there.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't do it anymore. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I need to work
and I felt
out
terrible
home.
because like I love working out with my brother, but I was just like, I can't keep doing that drive every day. It is brutal.
I like sometimes drive into town to go to the gym, and it's like 20. I mean, you guys drove here. I was like, should I tell them it's a fat hike, or should I just like let them go? It's like 20 minutes, but sometimes I'm like, well, that's an hour out of my day just traveling, which isn't a big deal, but like, I can't imagine.
Two hours combined after work, and I felt bad because because working on my brother is the best, but so I DM'd.
Tell him to drive to you.
Yeah. No, he's close to my parents' house, so it's definitely easier for him. But what's it called? So I DM'd Kels and I was like, hey, I'm looking for a box around Philly, like any recommendations? And she was like, Evolve. And I was like, all right.
Does she work out there?
She worked out at OBA because that was their team gym. And now she's going individuals. So she is taking the individual stab at the games.
So going into this a little bit.
Yeah.
I do want to, for anyone out there who's like interested in CrossFit or starting, because that's kind of like the goal of the podcast and just posting and everything, kind of just like show people that like fitness, it can be super accessible, and you don't have to be scared to do it, right? So like whether it's bodybuilding, CrossFit, whether it's nothing with a name, it's just like going into a gym and playing around and doing it to feel good. You can do it, and it's there for you, right? So it's cool to kind of know how a sport works. We talk like a lot about bodybuilding, like how I sign up for shows and what my goals are, what the process is. For CrossFit, obviously you can just do CrossFit just like you can just do bodybuilding. Like you meet a lot of people who do bro splits and train like bodybuilders who aren't ever going to step on stage just because they don't want to.
Right.
And like, I just feel like there's two sides of a sport, right? There's the side where you're just kind of doing it and it's awesome and you love it. And there's the side where you are like, okay, I'm going to be competitive in it. And they're both fine. Just depends on what you want. Right. So within CrossFit, could you go through, like, explain, like you're explaining to someone totally new who doesn't understand it. Once you get started in CrossFit, like you join a CrossFit gym, you do CrossFit on your own, wherever you do it, how does it work? Like, how do you level up within the sport? What is the top, like, what is the Mr. Olympia of CrossFit? Yeah. How does that work?
Yeah. So, it's a good question. So, so for me, like I said, like it was very aesthetic based in the beginning. So I was just like, I went and found a local box, stayed with it, and was strictly there to look a certain way.
And when you say box, just I really want everyone to understand what you're talking about.
So a CrossFit box is just a CrossFit gym. It's just what we call a box.
Yeah, like for some reason every CrossFit gym is just like a room with like this huge like garage door. For some reason, like every like I don't know
literally
why,
our gym.
It's an old.
They just wanted to feel like there was a bunch of people, and they were like, we could work out here.
Just put up a rig and grab a barbell. And that's
and there are, so when you say CrossFit box, there are gyms, aka CrossFit boxes, that are literally CrossFit gyms. Like somebody opened this room as a CrossFit gym. But there's also Lionheart, for example, which is a gym, a local gym to us, that you worked out at in college, that is a gym, and then within the gym they host CrossFit.
Yeah, there's also an additional, they have their own box within the gym.
Okay. Keep going.
So I mean, and then I realized, this is like there is a competitive aspect to it, and so in terms, I'll answer both parts of the question. In terms of leveling up, it really is. Like, it's going to be a boring answer, but it's just consistency. Like, it really is. CrossFit is, I would say, the pinnacle of, like, you get what you put out. Like, you get out of it what you put into it. If you are there, if you're shaving reps in a workout because you're tired, if you are cherry-picking workouts because one looks hard, so I'm not going to do that, but I'll come tomorrow and do that because that's more of a wheelhouse workout for me. You're never going to get to where you want to be. Yeah. It's just not going to happen. Like you have
But you could do it like that, and there's not necessarily like...
No, you absolutely
can. So just you could go and do the workouts that you want to do and just treat it like this is how I stay fit and active.
If that's what you want to do to stay fit, 100%. But if you want to get competitive and you do want to like get to that next level, if you do see the guy next to you and he's finishing 5 minutes before you and this dude is snatching 30 pounds heavier than you, but he's like way smaller than you, and it's like, what's going on? Why is this not happening? It really is. You have to be there every day.
Yeah. Work on your weaknesses. A lot of things is like working on your weaknesses, even though it's frustrating. Nobody wants to be doing something and not be good at it. Yeah. But how are you even going to progress if you don't even try?
It's really just getting comfortable being uncomfortable.
And I do think a cool thing about CrossFit is that something that we don't talk about a lot is that fitness isn't the way you look or how fast you are or how strong you are. It is how well you balance all the different things, the types of fitness, right? 100%. So you can be more fit than someone, but weaker than them because you're also flexible, you're also lean, right? So I think a cool thing about CrossFit is it tests a lot of the different categories of fitness, like all of them. Actually, all of them, right? So if you see a competitive CrossFitter, they look great. They look jacked. They look ripped. They're more flexible than a lot of people. They're more skilled than a lot of people. So there's a lot of ways in CrossFit, I think, that you can work on your weaknesses, both within fitness and just like in life. Like it just like you can't ever be perfect at CrossFit because there's always another aspect of fitness that you have to fix, right? Like once one gets stronger, like another one probably gets weaker. Like once you get stronger, you're probably like, why am I getting all tight all of a sudden? Like because your body doesn't want to be the strongest and the most flexible, and that is kind of like the challenge of CrossFit.
It is.
It's like how do I just be perfect?
So I mean, I've been talking to my coach. He created another program for people like myself and Maddie, and I mean anyone who wants to do it, but like
anyone that wants to get better. Not just get better, but like push themselves.
Be competitive. Hence the name.
Yeah.
So he created the competitors program.
Okay.
Which is we'll do, for example, like a 7 a.m. class, which is the program class that everyone will do.
Okay.
And then we'll either stay afterwards or we'll come back to the gym later in the day and we'll do the additional programming that he's programmed specifically for people who want to be in the competitors program.
That's cool.
Which is either like a ton of engine work. So like we'll do like intervals on the air runner for like 45 minutes or like a 12,000 meter row. Or we'll do overhead squat stuff or snatch stuff or gymnastics work. We've been living on the rings. We've been doing bunch of handstand walking.
Okay.
And yeah, so I mean, that too is like, if you are interested in really kind of upping your game, it's like, you got to do more. You like, put in more.
Another thing is the open too.
Yeah.
I think that's like a good
Yeah,
thing.
that's true.
That,
it's your hair.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Let's talk about the open.
Yeah.
That's really like where you can kind of put yourself at.
Yeah.
At like that, where you can compare yourself to other, even though you don't want to compare yourself, but it allows you.
No, but I mean, if you're in sport, you do that, right?
So everyone does it.
Well, the open is a good segue to like your other question of like the
how
top.
Do you,
how do you
progress?
Like
sport.
CrossFit Games?
Yeah. So the CrossFit season starts with the Open, the CrossFit Open. That happens every March. Yeah.
Okay.
Right at the end of March. It's 3 weeks. Each week a workout is announced, and it's announced that Friday. You have from Friday to Monday night to log your score. The workouts are always a surprise.
Okay, so really quick before you keep going, the CrossFit Open, then is it in a place, or is it like you can participate in the Open just at home? Could you just do it and log your score?
So
how are you proving that you did that?
You have to have a judge. You have to have a certified CrossFit judge, and people can go online at CrossFit.com, get your certification as a judge.
Oh. That's cool. Okay.
Yeah.
So you can do it from anywhere.
Anywhere. Yeah.
Okay.
Anywhere.
So you can level up anywhere.
Yeah, you can. That's exactly right. Yeah. Which is a beauty of CrossFit, which is like people. Why you'll see so many like CrossFit gyms in garages, because like people can just build it out themselves and do it. But for people who like me, who like go to a box, you'll have something like Friday Night Lights, where they open up the gym late at Friday night, big event. Everyone in your CrossFit box in the community comes out, watches. Everyone does the workout. Yeah.
Everyone does the workout. It's awesome.
Ton of fun. It's the best energy.
Aww.
Yeah. So you do the workout, log your score, you see where you land.
In the percentile, like
in the
based
world.
Off of, because everyone's doing it.
Yeah. So what is it based off? Like, is there man, woman?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is there
men's division, women's division?
Is there weight classes, or is it just
RX
and scaled?
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna talk about RX and scaled.
Yeah.
So scaled is adjusting the weight, lowering the weight.
Weight or rep,
Or rep.
Movement.
So with scaled, like, even if you can participate in open with scaled, can you really grow within scaled? Because don't you need to, like, do you know what I mean? Like, can you be in the...
You're essentially doing scaled.
You can still participate.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing, too. It's like, in any given class, me and the person next to me could be doing the same workout, and they're scaling it a little bit differently, but we're both doing it at the same time. You know what I mean? So, like...
but you have to log it as scaled. Obviously.
Yeah, you
and then you're judged against others who scale it the same.
Correct.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, the point of scaling a workout is essentially to get your capacity up, so then you can move to the RX.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? So you're not gonna like live in scale forever.
You're no.
Try to.
Okay.
And if you do, then that's completely
That's
fine. Some people do.
Yeah.
Always quote unquote
scale. But it's basically because like for certain workouts they say like, okay, this is the weight that you're doing as a man, this is the weight that you're doing as a woman. So if you're a guy but you're just not there yet, you can still do the workout, you scale it. That's the reason.
Because you want to be able, like Jack was saying, like you want to be able to get something out of the workout. If it's a weight that you're only going to be able to hit like 3 reps, it's like
you're not going to progress.
Right, exactly. What's the point of even trying to do something like that? Because you're not going to reach the intensity.
Identity of the workout is just
So do you scale?
No.
My mom told me to ask that too.
No,
I was like, first I need to make it clear that scaling isn't bad.
It's
not.
Scale.
Scaling is not bad.
Everybody had to scale at one point.
Yes, absolutely. I scale every time I do CrossFit.
Don't even say anything. Nobody knows how to just do a toes to bar or a butterfly
because I never scaled at the beginning, and I was like looking like a buffoon.
Yeah. Because
I was gonna say like if I go do CrossFit right now, I would do knee raises.
Yeah, and that's totally fine.
For example.
Yeah, and that's totally fine. But so you have those 3 weeks of the open each week, and then if you are in the top 10% in the world, you move on to quarterfinals. Quarterfinals, same format. Well,
that is so
it's
cool.
A different format.
Yeah, you have 1 week to do
all of
3 of the quarterfinal workouts, 3 or 4 of the quarterfinal workouts. And then of those...
Oh, that's cool. It's like everyone in the world goes, and then you're like, am I going to burn this?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But you have to, for those, it's like a little bit more strict. You have to like record it, send it to CrossFit.
Yeah, it's got to be verified.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not just someone judging. It's like you have to send out the video.
And and do they judge form then too and things, or
you
is
have to
that
hit all
a
the
little?
Standards. You have to hit the movement standards.
Okay.
So like if you're not squatting below parallel, if you're not locking out on your arms up top. Like,
but it's kind of things that like how is it common that someone gets shut down for that, or in CrossFit is it kind of like if you're doing this and you've been training like this, you're not gonna go above
Everyone's
parallel.
Gonna get
do you know what I mean?
At one point.
So I mean, no reps do happen a lot.
Yeah.
No reps happen a ton. But
that's what I'm wondering. Like, is it?
Well, that's the other thing too, is that you want to be sure that you are hitting it exactly at. Because if you get no rep, let's say on a wall walk, let's say you're doing a wall walk in a workout, and you get no rep on one wall walk. One no rep seems like it's only one rep, but like on a wall walk, that's like 10, 15 seconds in a workout where you could lose by 2 seconds, right? So like every single rep and every single movement.
And that's another reason that you need to scale to be able to do those things fully.
Exactly. Yeah. So quarterfinals, and then I forget what percentage of the quarterfinalists go on to semis.
I don't know.
And are all these workouts? So you said they announce them, so they're different every year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Always different.
Well, that's cool too.
And they kind of get like progressively harder.
Back in the days of Dave Castro, although Dave is back. Shout out Dave. He would always, at least for the first workout, not always, but most of the time, he would like program a reworkout from like a year prior or like something similar to, just for like a kind of fun.
Yeah.
Like, hey, hope you've been doing your homework. But yeah, so then from semis or regional competitions, CrossFit changed around their qualifiers a little bit. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, to like from regional to like
northeast
got so
and
confused.
like west.
Yeah, so it's now you hop onto the regional qualifiers after the top quarterfinalists. You go to the regional qualifiers, and then from there you go into the CrossFit Games, which is the Super Bowl, the Olympics.
Isn't there semis?
The regionals are the
semis, regional semis.
Yeah.
So do you have personal goals within that ladder?
Yes, yeah.
What are they?
Which is funny. Which is funny too, because like I never thought that I like realistically would get to the point where I could actually say like I do have aspirations to like move on beyond quarterfinals and potentially move on to regionals. I would say this year, log a pretty solid score in quarterfinals, and just see where I land there. Because last year, Maddie and I made it to quarterfinals.
So quarterfinals is that what? So
top 10% in the world.
That's the
from
top.
The Open.
Like after the Open.
That's after the Open.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys both made it to quarterfinals?
Yes.
Yeah, and
Woo! That's so cool.
A lot of people from our gym did as well.
Like 6.
Okay.
Which
is wild for a box.
Yeah,
you
you guys have some good trainers.
We do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And now you're one of them.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
So here
so
you
hopefully
go.
they go up.
So
year.
hey, if you're in Philly,
Evolve PHL, come by Ray Street. But yeah, so we made it last year. Maddie did great. I threw my back out on the first workout, like slipped my L5.
Oh
bad.
Lord. Okay.
And it was during our 20 rep squat cycle, which is a very fun squat cycle. If anyone's looking to move their squat up, it is hellacious. It is painful, but like nothing has moved my squat more ever. Like
what is it?
20 reps.
So this is like this was in addition to like just doing the
this is like
quarterfinals.
a weekly class.
We were doing like weekly.
Yeah, a weekly class. Yeah, so it's a 10-week program, 8-week program. 10 week.
6. I don't know. Don't ask me.
X amount of weeks. You start at.
It was horrible.
X% of your 1 rep max.
Yeah, it was like 50. You start at like 50% of your 1 rep max, and you do 20 reps, and that's all you do.
Yeah.
Which is way worse than doing 1 rep max.
And then
that's the strength portion of the workout.
Yeah.
And then you're done.
Yeah. And then you do a WOD or whatever. And then the next. Did we do it twice a week? We did do it twice a week. Yeah, we did twice a week.
You had to add 5 pounds every time.
Yeah, you had 5 pounds every time. To the point where you're getting to essentially 20 reps at 85% or 90% of your 1 rep max.
Yeah, like something disgusting.
So like I ended at like...
What weight were you guys doing?
I ended at 265 for 20, and that was...
I did 195.
Yeah.
First of all, holy shit.
Yeah, it hurt.
195 is crazy.
Yeah.
Damn.
I should have been at like 215, but because of like the quarters,
265
I didn't do it.
Well, I was good with 265 at 20. You get to the point where you're 3 reps away and you're your vision's blurry, your ears are actually raining, like you're smelling things that aren't even there because everything is like opening in your face because you're like,
Jesus.
Yeah,
that's.
But it created a new PR, so that was good.
That sounds so fun.
It is. But yeah, so I came in after quarterfinals on Monday, and my coach Nick was like, "Dude, why aren't you squatting? Like, what are you doing?" I was like, "Oh, I messed up my back." He's like, "Oh, you're L5?" I'm like, "I don't know." He's like, "Yeah, probably." And he's like, "Come lay on the bench," and I'm like, "Okay," and he went pop, and went right back in.
What, was he a chiropractor or something?
No, but him and his brother would always do the same thing when they were younger, so they learned from a chiropractor how to like do it. And
I need someone to teach me that.
Yeah,
because jeez.
Yeah.
He's like, it's your L5.
Yeah.
He's like looking at your face. It's your L5.
Yeah.
Like what?
Is it right there? Like he's like, I know. What you did.
My god.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's kind of it. Then you get to the CrossFit Games after regionals, and that's the top 30 athletes all on the planet.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So fun. So do you guys have like idols in the CrossFit world? Like I have my bodybuilding girls who I'm like they're the best.
Yeah.
Like those are my faves. Like do you guys have your own person? And who are they? So we can get people like following the CrossFit community, get some.
Yeah, I mean it's a easy answer. I think if anyone in the CrossFit community is asked that, Matt Frazier and Tia come to mind. I mean, like, because CrossFit is still, in the grand scheme of relatively
they're big because I know who they are.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
And CrossFit's still a relatively young sport.
Yeah.
If you really think about it, like,
it's like
2007 was like the first CrossFit Games. When it was just really a backyard sport, and like people were just doing it in their garage, and now it's become this massive
Doesn't it feel
thing.
cool? That's like similar to bikini. Like bodybuilding is old, but bikini is really young.
Yeah.
And I always think like it's kind of fun to be a part of something that's so young. You know what I mean?
Is.
Like you when you're in it, and like especially on social media and things, it can feel like, oh my god, everybody is doing this.
Yeah.
But then I remind myself like, I know so many people who have no idea what I'm talking about.
Right.
Like, and it's actually a really young sport. Like someday I'm gonna be an old lady and I'm gonna be like, I was like. Did that when it was like such
a
founding.
I
was a founding bikini girl. You were a founding CrossFitter.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it feels like such a big thing because it's who we surround ourselves with. Yeah. But like, you know, when you're at like a family cookout or like you're at a weird, you're like, I do CrossFit, and they're like,
what?
What is that? Yeah.
Like, is that thing that got canceled one time?
Yeah,
right. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I had to have my grandparents come to a competition to make sure that they could, because I've explained it so many times, and they're like, I still don't get it. And I'm like, okay, we'll come to a comp, and they're like, oh, I get it. That looks awful. Yeah.
I did that. Well, I did that too, and that's not the response I got.
No,
I was like, guys, come to a show, see what's going on. My grandmother was like, she was like, do you feel comfortable up there in all of that, or like in none of that?
The lack of that.
I was like, I feel pretty great. She was like, okay, super proud of you.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, thanks.
Yeah.
But you know, it's cool to be a part of something different.
Yeah, but it's, so like Rich Froning was like 4 year in a row champ, and then all of a sudden Matt Frazier comes out of nowhere and wins 5, and it's like, whoa, like this guy is a beast. All the while, Tia Claire Toomey is just dominating. Like the two of them were like the most dominant forces in CrossFit, because like it got to the point where first place everyone knew what it was going to be, and then like everyone was battling for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
This is how it goes in like the top sport.
Yeah, and now
it's like, is he going to take the title again?
Exactly.
C-Bum, we're talking to you.
Yeah. But and now Tia
just had a baby.
Yeah.
So she didn't compete this year.
Yeah. So Tia won 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she is the fittest human, period, to ever exist in the games.
And she just had a baby.
Just
so
had a baby.
She's also pretty healthy.
Yep.
She did the whole, like, she did the open.
Yeah. While pregnant.
While pregnant and qualified.
This is something I actually want to have a whole podcast episode on, because like you, like, so many people like are so cautious about like, oh, like I'm pregnant now, I need to be like, I need, like, No.
No.
Like, you gotta see these pregnant CrossFit girls.
Yeah.
Like, they're doing it all.
We have someone at our gym right now.
I was coaching someone this week, and she's due in...
Yeah, she's due, like, next week or something.
And you know what? She's going to have a smoother labor.
6 days.
Yeah,
she's doing 6 days. Yeah.
Then
she was, like, out there doing, like, dumbbell thrusters and
like, squatting to the floor.
Yeah.
And, like, just
doing
stand a little wider and you'll be fine.
Yeah. Doing 5 days doing handstand walks. Like, killing it. Yeah. So...
She was doing handstand walks?
Yeah.
She's
yeah, she was.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh
the baby's
God.
like,
Yeah. All right.
She's like, we're going to Del Grosso. Just relax.
Yeah, she was killing it. But yeah, so I mean, those two are I mean, for idols, sure, idols. Yeah. Of anyone.
Cool.
Just because not only like. Because they were champions, it's really not even because they won so many times. It's just their demeanors and just how they attacked every workout and how they went into every Matt was like
humble.
They're humble. Well, humble-ish. Like they are monsters. Like they're awesome. Like any documentary where Fraser's talking, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna ruin your day. Like I'm
but they say it in a way that's not like, oh my god, I hate this guy. Like,
no,
it's
just
they're just like competitive brothers.
You have to be like
you have to have to be that dominant and just like turn off all pain fact. Like I'm convinced
if you get your head,
Fraser and Tia just don't feel pain.
Yeah.
Like they can't. Like it's crazy. He's like Fraser's like, if I get on the mat next to you, I'm gonna kick your ass. Like you're gonna lose. Yeah. And it's like a foregone conclusion. And, like, it was true. He backed it up like every single time. Yeah.
Is
right.
Crazy.
Well, I think when you're in something that difficult and also that competitive, you kind of have to be.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's no room for doubt. Even when you're not at that level. Like, when I go into a show, like, everyone's like, do you get really nervous on stage? And I'm like, honestly, no.
Yeah.
Like... I don't know why. I think I'm just like, this is what we're doing. Like, let's just go do it. Like, right? Like, I don't know what's going to happen, but, like, I'm going to do good.
Yeah.
Like, one way or another.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be fine.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
So you kind of just have to be like, you don't go in a CrossFit workout like...
You can't.
Always.
Well, you did last weekend.
Sometimes?
Yeah. She did last weekend. Yeah.
It's scary sometimes.
It is scary.
I get like the butterflies in my stomach.
Yeah.
I see the workout.
Well, okay, I think there's two, but you're still doing it, right? Like, you have to have at least the level of confidence where you're like, I feel this way, but fuck it.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I'm doing it. Like, I'm here and I'm doing it, right? Like, definitely, I think anything like that, you're going to be like a little bit like, oh, you're feeling the butterflies. Yeah.
And then you just black out during the workout.
Exactly.
Stop.
That's kind of helpful though. Like for the next one, you can be like, it's not gonna be that bad because I'm just gonna black out.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be.
That's coming. So like our first comp, like I'd say SummerSlam this summer, I was the most nervous I was for.
Really.
Any of the competitions, and then like the one execution games. I was feeling pretty. I was honestly. I was more nervous about how unnervous I was like, I feel way too good. Like I'm way too confident right now.
I feel that sometimes. Like sometimes when I'm like, oh, I'm not nervous at all. Should I be?
I was like, I should be. Yeah, I should feel.
What do you think's gonna happen? Yeah. Should I be nervous?
Yeah, exactly. So. Yeah.
Okay. I have a couple more questions and then a little game and then we will be done.
Sweet.
Okay. So sorry, this is kind of long, but I have some. Okay. My last silly thing that my mother said I need to ask. Shout out, Mom. Have you ever had rhabdo?
No, I have never had.
About it all
we do joke about it a ton. Yeah, we joke about it more than we should.
Because rhabdo is common in the CrossFit world.
If you don't listen to your body and you're doing a movement, like this is kind of like back to like the scaled RX thing. If you are jumping into a workout that you have no business doing, and you're just trying to prove something to someone. You do have injuries happen. You will hurt yourself.
My brother got rhabdo doing CrossFit a few months ago.
Was he doing GHD?
Yeah, I don't remember what he was doing. I need to ask him. I forget. I don't remember. But he was training for the Murph and he's like just super fit. Like I'm not trying to gas him at all. He just like is the kind of person who's like can just go do anything kind of thing. Right. And he did powerlifting competitively and things like that. And my dad's like, he does like backflips, like muscle ups, like all the things. Like, and my dad's like, I just want you to do CrossFit. Like our really good friend Andrew, he does CrossFit competitively, and he works out here.
Yeah.
And my dad was like, train with him, like just like compete, because like you can be competitive in CrossFit. Like just
has, like,
do
gymnastics,
it.
that's like,
that's like
and he's also like he has his L1, like he's
nice.
But he was like, okay, you know what, like I'll do the Murph this year, like I'll try to just do like as well as I can, and we'll see what happens.
What was his time?
Well, he didn't end up doing it because training for it, he got a rhabdo.
Sure.
I don't remember what he was doing, but I just remember he was like, I can't lengthen my arm.
Damn.
Like he couldn't move his arm. Like his bicep was like completely like clenched still. So he couldn't do the Murph, but that was irresponsible because while he is fit, he's just like, okay, all of a sudden I'm gonna go. Like he has that thing where he can push his body past the limit of where it should be. Like he has like that, which is very good, but could also be very bad. Yeah. Like he doesn't fear anything. Good. Do you know what I mean?
Like that's what you have to have. You have to have that off switch where you can just be like, hey body,
sometimes
listen.
it can hurt you.
Yeah. No, I've never had.
Yeah,
never
thank
had.
God. And that just goes with like
knock on wood,
having good trainers and people that are monitoring, making sure that you're not pushing yourself. Like, to the
I'm not trying to scare you guys. I just thought it'd be a funny.
It does happen.
It does happen.
People do get it.
Okay, last serious thing is, and you guys can both answer this. Okay, well, let me start a little explaining. In fitness, health, wellness, anything of the sort, there are so many things that trend yearly, daily, weekly, whatever it may be, and these things like come in and out, like, right, like, so everyone like loves it 1 second, and then the next year someone's like, I cannot believe we did that because that's not right. No shit. So what are 2 things each that you feel within fitness? It could be a belief, it could be an exercise, it could be just something that you think will always remain true. Isn't something that it's something that like someone listening can take as fitness advice, and it will be true in 80 years. You know, like they can keep it for life.
Man, that's really good.
And you can think a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I will say, I'll do an easy one. It's kind of like obvious, but we talk like a lot about recovery. I talk a lot about recovery. I think at the end of the day, there's going to be 1,000 products that come out. There's going to be 1,000 new things. There's going to be like, I was just using like those compression sleeves.
Yeah, I saw that
yesterday. Yeah. I really like them.
You like those?
Yeah, like as of now, I support them. I don't like, I mean, they're never going to be like canceled. Like they're not that, it's not that deep. Like it's a compression. But at the end of the day, I think the best thing for recovery is sleep, and I don't think that's ever going to change.
Yeah.
Right? So,
I track it every single night.
Yeah. So, for somebody who's like just getting into fitness and they're like, I'm so sore all the time, I'm so this, my first thing is your sleep's messed up. Like, and you might not even know it. Yeah. So, that's my first thing that I don't think anyone's going to be able to ever disprove.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I would say for sure. Sleep's number one. Like, there is nothing is going to replace sleep. I used to take like CBD to sleep. I used to take Beam to sleep, which is like CBD and melatonin. I'm off of all of it now, and my sleep and recovery has gotten even better since like just and that's tough for some people. Naturally falling asleep is tough for some people. You know, take the supplements that you need to, but I would try to stay as natural as possible.
I agree. Like a lot of melatonin, all of that
it's
stuff.
Harsh. Melatonin can harsh. It can be harsh.
Yeah.
I would say one thing for me is, regardless of your fitness goals, whether it's aesthetic, whether it's performance, whether it's whatever, your growth is only going to be as good as the way you eat. And I'm not saying...
I agree with this.
Yeah, I'm not saying don't go out and eat a burger. I'm not saying, you know, that pint of Ben & Jerry's in your fridge has to be thrown out. But, focus on what you eat and try to be deliberate about it.
And something I say too is like think about your diet on a weekly basis, right? Like one meal, one dessert, one night isn't going to ruin a week, right? Like you wouldn't say that. So like take a look at your whole week and like is 80% of what you're putting into your body, something that's close to the earth, like something that you know the ingredients to, then
something
you're
I heard
chilling.
is like,
you're right.
Would a pilgrim know what's on your plate?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, most of the time, probably not. For some people, and that's okay. But well,
no, it's not. That's what we're saying.
It's not,
and it's okay that that's not okay.
But also, like, eating clean and eating healthy can be delicious. Like, it doesn't have to be straight up just salt and peppered chicken, rice, and steamed broccoli. That's not, and I think that's what a lot of people, like, think of when they think of eating clean and eating healthy. And that's just not true. The amount of creamy, delicious sauces that I've made with cottage cheese is absurd.
We both love cottage cheese.
Yeah,
yes.
cottage cheese. I got to hook up.
Yeah, I didn't eat
it is
before,
a godsend.
And now I eat it every day.
It's the best.
It's everything.
So good.
It's so good, and it can be savory. It can be sweet.
Yeah, so, true. I've made protein shakes with it.
Yeah, pasta, mac and
sauces.
cheese. Yeah,
exactly. It goes in my eggs every morning.
Yeah.
So I think people will ask me in the gym, they're like, how, did you get to look a certain way? Is it just CrossFit every day? And it's like half of it, but like not even half. I'd say the majority of it really is just changing up your diet. Yeah.
Would you say that being in CrossFit and being in something that's so routine and kind of makes you think about your physique a little more, though, has kind of encouraged that healthy eating, those healthy eating patterns?
Absolutely.
Because I am a big believer in, like, you can't out-exercise a bad diet, right?
Correct.
But I also am a big believer in why is it that exercisers tend to look better and tend to be healthier? And it's because, like, being healthy inspires being healthy. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, like, being active inspires eating clean or eating well in the, I don't like saying clean, but, like, eating good in the kitchen, eating happy in the kitchen.
To feel well, you have to eat well. That's just kind of plain and simple.
And it just kind of, like, being in a community of people who are just striving to be better makes you want to be better in all other aspects of your life. So
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, we're always sending in our group chat, like, our meals and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, with 2 other guys from our gym, we're, like, sending, like, what we have for dinner.
Yeah, just
like,
amount. Yeah.
It just kind of, like, because they all get it.
Yeah.
You know, we're all on the same, like, journey together. You know?
Yeah.
And for the first time, I'm, like, actually, like, shamelessly eating more carbs. Because, like, I do have to get, my coach is always like, dude, you are tiny. Like, you are so small. You are... Because I do need to put on more weight to move around the barbell a little more. So, like... It all.
I love someone who's eating more carbs.
Yeah, I have to.
Because they're not bad.
Carbs are not bad. That's coming from a diabetic.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I'm a type 1 diabetic, so like.
Adding that to your mysterious frame.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put a little wristband on you.
Yeah. Listening to this, people are like, "Who is she? This is girl."
This is gonna be funny.
Yeah.
Okay, one more thing I want to do. This is new. A game I want to play. I saw on TikTok. So I would just like to start by saying, don't cancel me, okay? Because actually do cancel me if you want. I don't care. Like, if you're so sensitive that you can't deal with this game, then leave.
If you're canceled, that's like a superpower. You can do whatever you want then.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, cancel me now.
Cancel her now.
Because, like, I have a lot to do.
Yeah, I'm going to start my podcast, so don't cancel me yet.
So I saw these guys do on TikTok, and I, like, love watching, like, little podcasts on TikTok or, like, little games on TikTok. Yeah. And this is called Republican versus Democrat. And so I want to clarify. I don't care if they're Republican or Democrat. I'm not telling you if I am Republican or Democrat. Actually, I'm a registered independent, so frick all of you. Anyways, this is just a silly little game, and I'm just going to say things in the fitness world, and then we say whether they feel more Republican or Democrat.
Okay, cool.
Right? And again, it has nothing to do with what it actually means to be Republican or Democrat. I don't care.
It's like Frogger, right?
Exactly. Yes,
it's
exactly
just funny. Okay, energy drinks.
Republican.
Right? Okay, but no, wait. Monster versus Celsius.
Monster's Republican.
Monster is
Celsius
so Republican.
Is definitely Democrat.
Are there, like, is it just every energy drink feels Republican, or
I think Celsius is Democrat.
I feel that too.
Yeah.
But I don't know why. I think it's like
I don't know. Well, because I feel like...
What's the most Republican energy drink?
Like, I was going to say Monster, but then I was thinking
what's the
Rain.
other one? I was thinking Rain, or what's the other one? That's
Bang.
not Rain. Bang.
Bang.
Yeah, I was
Bang.
thinking
Bang is definitely
Yes.
With like
Yeah.
the girls
Bang-
and like
Bang
the
is-
neon
Bang
bikini.
is straight up conservative.
Yeah.
Bang is hard
Hard
right.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Rain is
Rain
Democrat.
is Democrat. You
Yeah.
think?
You think?
Oh.
He's only saying
Okay.
that because he drinks.
Hey, the point of this game is
I
to
used
not
to-
give
Oh,
away.
you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Give
Also
away,
not
but
necessarily
no, I'm just
correct,
kidding.
Correct.
I think I am.
Anyway, yeah.
I don't know
I'm
I
just
am.
kidding.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, would you-
CrossFit.
Republican.
Not
Really?
that that's
Yeah.
By the way, my facial expressions have nothing to
I
do with
feel
how I
like-
feel about any party.
I feel like people see it as being Republican, but being at our box and like our box is very much not like
No,
that.
I think it's.
But it does.
But it does-
CrossFit
yes,
CrossFit
it
feels
does.
Republican.
Yes,
Does it?
It
Okay.
just does.
Alright.
Versus like
it doesn't
okay,
feel Democrat. That's
hot
for sure, but I-
Pilates.
Oh,
The
Democrat.
most Democrat of all time.
Right?
Yeah.
It just is.
It
Both
just
are
is.
hard in their own
Yeah.
ways. Nothing.
Hot
yeah.
Pilates, super.
Okay,
liberal.
this one I couldn't figure out. Bodybuilding. Because I will say this: steroids feel Republican.
Steroids do feel Republican, yeah.
I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
we could get into like what's trend. What's like I don't know.
Trend.
We're not gonna do that. But but like steroids feel Republican. Bodybuilding as a whole, I don't know.
I feel like
I feel like
it's like the same
I would say
brain as
Republican.
like CrossFit. Like
Yeah.
Republican,
Yeah.
even though it's not all Republican, like
Yeah.
CrossFit, like it still feels that way.
Yeah.
What about like gymnastics?
Democrat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Really?
That's a hard one. Yeah, because like gymnastics is cutthroat, I feel like.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
very
actually,
strict.
yeah.
Like,
Yoga.
have you ever watched those like documentaries before?
Which ones?
I don't know.
Yeah.
What's about?
It's like ballet kind of. It's
Yeah.
like you'd think, but
Right.
Republican.
Yeah. I think that,
Secretly
yeah.
Republican.
It's like
Yeah.
Democrat, like it's like they're Republican, but they're wearing like a Democrat like
Yeah.
suit over top.
Oh
You,
my
like,
God.
cut it open and it's like Republican.
Okay, Planet Fitness.
Democrat.
Democrat
Yeah.
for sure.
Democrat.
Sure.
I
yeah,
think the
Yeah.
the button that they have,
The note the
like where
the
you
clunk zone.
yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
what
it's
does
like
it.
the
Yeah.
judgestone.
Yeah.
I don't like to like. I don't throw shade on people's fitness or anything, but like I think I'm anti-Planet Fitness.
Hey.
I don't,
Can
but
I
I'm
say that?
about
No.
to.
No, I can't say that.
No, you're not, because it's a place where people can work out and do what they want, and it works.
This is true.
I'm not
And if that's
anti.
their
I'm not
goals,
anti
then
people
they-
going to try and work out at Planet Fitness. I'm anti Planet Fitness as a organization.
Okay. That's another conversation.
I think there's things they
If you
could
have a
change.
no clunk zone, like really,
The
like,
clunk zone is kind of crazy,
It's
and
crazy.
the all purple walls coming from someone whose business has a purple theme color.
Yeah,
I am like,
yeah.
that's a little bit.
But also at the same time, it's like by saying it's a judgment-free zone, that implies that everything else is full of judgment.
That's true,
Which is just
right?
a
like,
bad- what are you trying to do? You
yeah,
know what I
like,
mean?
are you gonna go to another gym now and feel judged because
Yeah.
they don't tell you it's
Yeah.
judgment
Yeah,
free?
exactly.
I personally, I felt more judged at a Planet Fitness than I have at a CrossFit.
I would too.
Felt this.
I would too.
I just will say.
I've never stepped
I've
foot.
never thought about Planet Fitness as much as you guys have. Like,
I think about it
right
every
now.
night before I go to bed.
Yeah, I have a board. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, Gymshark versus Raw Gear.
See, I don't use full gear.
I don't use any of them. I'm just thinking as a brand. Okay, what are some other ones? Let me think. Lululemon.
Gymshark
Lululemon
is like
is definitely Democrat.
I think so too.
Gymshark is
Yeah.
Republican.
Yeah.
I think they're another one where like they try to be Democrat, but they try to be Democrat so hard that they are.
No, they
Republican.
are. No, they're Democrat.
Gymshark's Democrat.
Democrat. No, you're right.
All right.
We
yeah,
can.
guess I'm
I can explain
Fair.
why I think off of the
Good, no,
pod.
please.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. After.
I think
hours.
Gymshark they were Republican.
Yes. Yep.
And then they were like,
rebranded a
we
little
need to
bit.
rebrand to be
Yep.
more Democrat.
Yep.
Not actually, but like.
Oh, I see what you're saying now. I know what you're
Yeah.
saying. Okay. All right.
Okay, behavior in the gym. Grunting
Oh.
in a workout.
Yeah,
Is it-
Republican.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
I guess.
don't
I
know,
guess.
guys.
I guess that like holds truer with making CrossFit Republican.
This is it's like the behaviors of CrossFit.
Like
Right. Remember, it's not that deep. Like it's not
it's
actually
not.
what does CrossFit stand for.
No,
like what it's just like the vibes. Right. Okay. Last one we'll do fitness diets. So like paleo versus vegan.
Vegan is Democrat.
For sure. Paleo, I wanted to say because I feel like paleo is kind of CrossFit.
Paleo, I was about to say, it's CrossFit, yeah.
So, I don't know.
See, I
don't know.
But I feel like anything like that, I feel like any like vegan.
Anything where you're like, that's
Democrats,
true.
you know what I mean?
So I was originally going to say paleo Republican, but
Yeah.
then I was like, I feel like anything where you're like, this is my diet, is giving Democrat
for sure.
It's like, you don't just eat like whatever you want. I feel like that's more Republican. Like, okay.
Sushi.
Well,
Sushi. What's sushi?
Sushi's Democrat.
Yeah.
Faux show.
Yeah.
And I love it to death.
That's my trigger word. Sushi. I'm like, I need it now. Yeah. It's bad. That's my once a week. I'm like 7 rolls.
Yeah.
It's bad.
It's okay. It's close to the
great.
earth though.
Yeah, it is close to it.
Yeah.
It's
so
in the earth.
It's
underwater.
Yeah, sometimes it's like not even cooked.
Yeah.
So it's like the earth.
Yeah, it is
itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a note to end on.
Ending on that note, thank you guys so much for coming.
Thanks for
I
having
hope
us.
you enjoyed it.
Yes.
Thank you guys for listening, and we will finish with a little plug. So it is Evolve Gym. If you're in local to the Philly area, it's a CrossFit box. If you want to get started there, you can stop in and
I'll be there.
He'll be there.
Yeah.
And you can get started with your CrossFit journey.
And look out for my podcast. We'll be starting soon.
Yeah, what are your like handles? Do you guys, if you want to plug your social medias or anything that you do?
Jack_Walker57.
Okay, I'll put it on the screen.
On Instagram.
Okay.
Follow me there. My podcast will be posted there. It's going to be called Let's Start Here.
Let's start here. Perfect. Amazing. So let's end here today. Thank you so much for joining us, and I will see you next time. Here I go. See you next time at Mobilefitlab.